What's up, Rock Point kids? Today we're going to continue our talks on our series, Focus. We're excited that you guys are joining us from home today, and we're going to have a blast in service today. With me today is one of my good friends, Amy.
What's up, everyone? I'm so excited to be here.
Amy, all this month we are going to be talking about faith. Do you know what faith is?
Yes, I do. Faith is trusting what you can't see because of what you can see.
That's exactly right. Sometimes we might not be able to physically see God, but we can have faith that He is always there. Last week we looked at several all-stars who had really big faith. Even though these all-stars of the team couldn't see the ending of the story, they had faith in God and His promises.
That's right, Alec. We looked at how we can know Jesus even though we can't actually see Him. It's so cool because even though we can't see God, we can still put our faith in Him because we can trust in Him no matter what. We can look at the things He has done for us in the past, and we can see what He has done in the lives of others.
That's really good, Amy. Today we're going to look at a guy named Paul. Paul was a guy who at first didn't like people who followed Jesus, but then Jesus changed the way he saw everything around him. Before we dive straight into the story, stand up, grab your brothers, sisters, friends, parents, dogs, cats, your fish, and anyone around you, and let's go into a time of worship together.
That's what we'll do.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Acts, chapter 9, verses 1 through 9.
If anyone was set up for the good life, it was Saul of Tarsus.
Greetings.
Though Saul's family was Jewish, he was also born a Roman citizen. Throughout his life, he was known by 2 different names.
You may call me Saul or Paul.
As a young man, Saul was sent to Jerusalem to study with the famous Rabbi Gamaliel.
Let's see. You have achieved 100% in classical literature, 111% in philosophy, and in ethics, 99%.
I vow to do better.
Saul became a Pharisee like his father before him. He carefully studied God's law and prayed 3 times a day.
Dear God, help me follow your laws 100% perfectly.
Like the other religious leaders in Jerusalem, though, Saul was caught off guard by the events that surrounded the life and death of Jesus.
Good riddance. Now that fool can't try to overturn God's laws anymore.
Haven't you heard? Jesus' follower says he's returned to life.
They've seen Jesus?
They've seen Jesus.
Those riffraff will slink away soon enough.
Against all odds, the followers of Jesus didn't fade away. In fact, the numbers began to grow.
5,000? You're telling me that 5,000 people are following the way of a dead man?
Well, technically, they think he's alive.
Not helping.
The religious leaders in Jerusalem did everything they could to squash the new movement. They even arrested a leader among the Jesus followers named Stephen. After telling lies about him, they dragged him outside the city.
This man is a disgrace.
Saul stood by and held the coats of the men, who picked up stones and threw them at Stephen, until they killed him.
If Stephen had just let go of this Jesus nonsense, he wouldn't have had to die.
It's terrible. I heard people are following the way of Jesus in other cities too.
What? Inconceivable.
Saul quickly became known for hunting down people who believed in Jesus. When he discovered that some Jews in Damascus were following Jesus, he went straight to the high priest.
This Jesus thing is spreading everywhere.
I'm aware.
They think he's alive.
#yup.
Someone should do something.
I hope you have something constructive to say.
Give me letters to the synagogues in Damascus so I can arrest all the believers and bring them back here.
Now you're talking.
Saul set off for Damascus with the blessing of the high priest. He traveled with a group of men to arrest the believers they found. After days on the road, they neared the city.
There it is.
We'll make it by lunch.
No, we must take time to pray.
As he did 3 times every day, Saul stopped and turned to Jerusalem to pray, certain God was on his side.
Dear Lord, help me to catch every single one of those despicable Jesus people.
Suddenly, a light more brilliant than the midday sun blazed down around Saul. He staggered, fell to the ground, squeezing his eyes shut against the glare.
Saul, why are you opposing me?
Saul gasped. It felt as though the whole earth shifted beneath him.
Who are you, Lord? I am Jesus. I am the one you are opposing.
The men around Saul stared in horror and confusion, unable to speak. They could see no one, but heard a sound, perhaps like a roar of thunder.
Now get up and go into the city. There you will be told what you must do.
Saul reeled. He struggled to his feet and finally opened his eyes. He saw nothing, only darkness.
What's happened?
You tell us. We saw the light, and you fell, and this sound And then you said...
I can't see.
What?
I can't see. I've been blinded.
That's not good. Here, take my hand.
Saul grasped the man's hand and shuffled a few steps forward.
Who are you talking to?
I think it was Jesus.
You heard Jesus?
I heard Jesus.
Saul's companions led him into Damascus, where he stayed at the home of a man named Judas on Straight Street.
Want something to eat?
I'm not hungry.
Or water?
Not thirsty.
For 3 days, Saul wrestled with himself and God. He'd come face to face with the very man he knew was dead, but discovered that Jesus was very much alive. Now blind, Saul was forced to see everything in a brand new light.
All through God's big story, we see him reveal himself to a plethora of different people, and he helped them understand who he is. We ourselves know who God is because he showed us his great love. He loved us so much, he loved us by dying on the cross for us. God also showed us how powerful he is by coming back to life. Knowing Jesus changes the way that we see everything. We ourselves really have to focus on Jesus to know him. When we focus on Jesus, we can see him work in our lives and in the lives of people around us. Our memory verse for this month is Hebrews 11:1, and it says, "Faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see." Let's say that together again. Faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see. Great job. We are so excited that we got to see each of you today. We can't wait for next week, and we will see you guys later, Rock Point kids. Bye.